Right, 9 May 2020, and today I want to talk about a story that has come out in Spotlight Zimbabwe. If you've been wondering where all those Chinese people who are coming into Zimbabwe have been going to, the ones that were told are coming to do coronavirus assistance, but you have not seen them in public. These people could be working on a secret project with the Zimbabwe military, and Spotlight Zimbabwe has given more details. This was in an article that they published yesterday, and this article says the Chinese government, in cooperation with the Zimbabwe military, is setting up a biosafety level 4 lab in Zimbabwe, which will be looking at chemical and biological weapons. Basically, this is what they're saying. This is a special unit that will be established in Zimbabwe, and it will be dealing with biological and chemical warfare. So, this story says that there is an underground base which is being constructed, probably in Manicaland, and this is where this biosafety level 4 lab is likely going to be. However, this lab could also be in the new town of Mount Hampden. This is the new town or the new city which is being constructed in Zimbabwe, about 40 to 50 kilometers from Harare. And this is where the new parliament of Zimbabwe, which is being built by Chinese, or the Chinese, is also located. So it's possible that the same time that they're building this parliament of Zimbabwe, they're also going to be building this new biosafety level 4 lab in Zimbabwe. So this lab was negotiated by General Chiwenga, according to Spotlight Zimbabwe. This was negotiated by General Chiwenga when he was down in China, when he was sick in China. So during that time when he was in China, he found out about these biosafety level 4 laboratories, and he negotiated that one should be built in Zimbabwe. And so basically the Chinese are going to be doing more and more work, military work in Zimbabwe. As we said before, they're also going to be setting up a special forces base in Kariba. So this is the information that we have from Spotlight Zimbabwe, and as far as I'm concerned, there's a number of implications of having such a lab in Zimbabwe. The first one, obviously, is that Zimbabwe is becoming a military center for the Chinese in Southern Africa. What are the implications of having so much military presence of China in Zimbabwe? They've got their surface-to-air missiles, as Spotlight Zimbabwe reported last year. Now they're going to be having a base in Manicaland. They're going to be having a biosafety level 4 lab in Manicaland. This is just so much military presence by the Chinese. What will happen if a new government wants to come in and they want to get rid of the Chinese? Would this be allowed? So that's the first thing. Secondly, General Chiwenga has got such a good relationship with the Chinese. What happens if Idi Mnangagwa wants to get rid of him? What happens if Idi Mnangagwa says, I no longer want you as my vice president? And what is his influence as a retired commander of the defense forces? What is his influence still with the Zimbabwe military? There's a bit of, I can say, we can almost not understand how he can have so much influence in the military when he has resigned, right? Or when he has retired. So is he still in charge of the military or not? Then there's obviously, there's a risk of accidental contamination, as what happened in Wuhan. So in Wuhan, there is strong suspicion, as I've said before, that the coronavirus came out of that lab in Wuhan. What if there is a contamination, or there is a leak, or there is a problem there at the new lab? Is it going to affect Southern Africa. So it's there's a lot of questions around this lab. If this is what is happening, you also remember that a few weeks ago, Spotlight Zimbabwe that reported that the Chinese are bringing in a vaccine into Zimbabwe, and they're going to be testing on local people without worrying about procedures. So these people are coming into Zimbabwe without much information being made available to the citizens. Everything is being done in secrecy. And is there a danger that something could go wrong there and we end up with an outbreak coming out of here in Africa where there are less controls and where people really don't know what is going on, especially rural communities? So this is the information that I have from Spotlight Zimbabwe. Please go and read the full story at spotlight-z.com. They've got a lot of information there. Very, very interesting story that they've produced this week. And as always, Spotlight Zimbabwe have got some of the best stories that are related to the military in Zimbabwe. And thanks very much to Mary Kate Kahari, who wrote this story, and my brother Itai Mshekwe, who allowed me to use this story. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on WhatsApp, send it to as many people as possible. If you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, please like, comment, and share.